Good morning, my friends. I want you to take a deep breath right now. Breathe in. Feel that air in your lungs. That's life. That's energy. That's power. And let me tell you something right now. In this moment, you are standing at a crossroads. One path leads to the same old patterns, the same excuses, the same stories you've been telling yourself about why you can't. But the other, that path is where the breakthroughs happen. That path is where you rise. That path is where you say, I will not quit. Success doesn't happen by accident. It doesn't come to those who wait, hope, or wish. It comes to those who decidedly, completely, and without hesitation. The moment you decide that quitting is not an option, everything changes. Most people never actually make a real decision. They flirt with commitment. They say they want something, but the second it gets uncomfortable, they look for an exit. That's not a decision, that's a preference. And preferences don't create success. Decisions do. A real decision eliminates all other options. It burns the boats. It means there is no backup plan, no safety net, no maybe if things work out. The moment you give yourself an escape route, you've already lost. Because when things get hard, then they will get hard. That little voice in your head will try to convince you to take the easy way out. But when you truly decide there is no easy way out, there is only forward. Most people let circumstances dictate their level of commitment. If they feel motivated, they take action. If things are going well, they push forward. But when it gets tough, when progress slows, when the results don't come as fast as they want, they hesitate, they question themselves. They start looking for an easier way. And that hesitation is the difference between winning and losing. The most successful people in the world aren't the ones who had the easiest path. They're the ones who made a real decision and stuck with it, no matter what. When you truly decide, you eliminate the mental tug of war. There's no more debating, no more questioning, no more wasting energy wondering if this is the right path. You go all in. And that level of commitment is what separates those who succeed from those who spend their lives wishing they had. Think about the most successful people in history. They didn't tiptoe towards success. They didn't say, let's see how this goes. They decided and they owned that decision with everything they had. When Thomas Edison was working on the light bulb, he didn't say, I'll give this a try for a few months and see what happens. He made a decision. When Elon Musk bet everything on Tesla and SpaceX, he didn't say, I'll try for a while and see if it works out. He made a decision. And when you make a decision like that, when you fully commit, you find a way no matter what obstacles show up. Because here's the truth, challenges will come. Obstacles will appear. You will hit moments where it feels like nothing is working. That's when most people quit. Not because they weren't capable, not because it wasn't possible, but because they never truly decided in the first place. They left themselves an exit, and the moment things got tough, they took it. When you remove quitting as an option, something shifts inside you. Your mind works differently. You start seeing opportunities instead of excuses. You start getting creative instead of giving up. You push through the resistance instead of letting it stop you. Because now there is no alternative. You're not waiting for things to be easy. You're not hoping it all falls into place. You're making it happen no matter what. This is the mindset that changes everything. It's the mindset that makes ordinary people achieve extraordinary things. It's the mindset that separates those who win from those who almost did. Because the truth is, most people almost make it. Most people get close, but then they hesitate, they doubt, and they retreat. But those who truly decide, they don't stop. They don't slow down. They don't question. They go all in. Because of that, they find a way to make it happen. The voice of doubt is the greatest enemy of success. It sneaks in when you're exhausted, when progress is slow, when the obstacles feel overwhelming. It whispers in your ear, telling you that maybe you're not good enough, that maybe this isn't meant for you, that maybe you should just give up and take an easier path. That voice is a liar. It is designed to keep you small, to keep you safe, to keep you from stepping into the full potential of who you were meant to be. Doubt has only one job to stop you. It doesn't care about your dreams. It doesn't care about your hard work. It doesn't care about the vision you have for your future. All it cares about is keeping you in the same place, because that's what's comfortable, that's what's familiar, and that's what feels safe. But safe doesn't lead to success. Safe doesn't build champions. Safe doesn't create legacies. Most people listen to that voice without even realizing it. They think it's logic. They think it's reason. They think it's being realistic. But doubt isn't realism, it's fear dressed up in a disguise. It's the part of you that's terrified of failure, of rejection, of putting everything on the line and coming up short. And the more you listen to it, the stronger it becomes. The most dangerous thing about doubt is that it doesn't always shout, it whispers. It plants small seeds that grow over time. It starts as a tiny hesitation, a little voice in the back of your mind questioning whether you're really capable. Then, the next time you face a challenge, that hesitation turns into second guessing. Then it turns into procrastination. Then it turns into inaction. Before you know it, you've convinced yourself that maybe this dream isn't for you after all. But it's not the truth. It was never the truth. It was just doubt doing what doubt does, stealing your future before you even have a chance to fight for it. Highly successful people don't let doubt control them. They hear the same voices, they feel the same fear, but they refuse to entertain it. They know that doubt is just a test. It's the universe asking, how bad do you really want this? Asterisk. And they answer by pushing forward, by taking action, by proving to themselves and to the world that they will not be stopped. The key is not to fight doubt, it's to replace it. You can't let it take root in your mind. The moment it shows up, you shut it down. You counter every negative thought with action. If doubt says you're not good enough, you put in more work. If doubt says you'll never make it, you remind yourself why you started. If doubt tells you to quit, you double down and push even harder. Because when you do that, doubt loses its power, it shrinks, it weakens, and eventually it disappears. The truth is, the people who make it to the top aren't always the smartest, the most talented, or the luckiest. They're the ones who learned how to silence doubt before it could take hold. They're the ones who refused to believe the lies. They're the ones who kept going when everyone else let doubt convince them to stop. Every great success story is filled with moments where doubt could have won. The difference between those who made it and those who didn't is Simplone Group listened and the other didn't. Doubt only wins if you give it a voice. It only wins if you allow it to stay. The moment you recognize it for what it is, you take away its power. You reclaim control. And when you do that, nothing can stop you. Pain is one of the most powerful forces in the world. It has the ability to break you down, to strip you of your confidence, to make you question everything. But it also has the ability to forge you into something unstoppable. The difference between those who succeed and those who don't is not whether they experience pain, it's how they choose to use it. Most people run from pain. They avoid discomfort, they shy away from challenges, and they do everything in their power to stay in their comfort zone. But the comfort zone is where dreams go to die. Nothing great has ever been achieved without struggle, without sacrifice, without pushing through moments that feel impossible. The truth is, pain is a sign that you are growing. It is proof that you are pushing yourself beyond what you were before. Every great transformation is born from discomfort. When you work out, your muscles tear before they rebuild stronger. When you learn something new, your mind struggles before it expands. When you chase a goal that seems out of reach, you will feel frustration, exhaustion, and moments of self-doubt before you break through. But that's the process. That's how you become more than you were yesterday. Most people misinterpret pain. They see it as a stop sign when it's really a green light. It's telling you that you are moving in the right direction. The only way to grow is to endure the discomfort that comes with it. Every challenge, every setback, every moment where you feel like quitting is an opportunity. It's an invitation to rise, to evolve, to prove to yourself that you are stronger than anything standing in your way. The people who succeed at the highest levels are the ones who have learned to embrace pain instead of fearing it. They don't let it break them, they let it shape them. Pain is the greatest teacher you will ever have. It shows you your weaknesses so you can strengthen them. It reveals your doubts so you can destroy them. It pushes you past your limits so you can redefine them. But only if you let it. Only if you stop running from it and start using it as fuel. Most people try to numb their pain. They distract themselves with entertainment, with comfort, with anything that makes them forget the discomfort they're feeling. But pain ignored is pain wasted. Every second spent avoiding it is a second lost, a moment where you could have been growing, adapting, and becoming stronger. Pain is also a filter. It separates those who truly want something from those who just like the idea of it. Everyone wants success. Everyone wants to achieve their dreams. But the moment pain enters the picture, most people retreat. They tell themselves it's too hard, that it's not worth it, that maybe they weren't meant for it after all. That's where the real battle is fought. Because if you can endure that moment, if you can push through when it feels like the world is against you, you put yourself in a category that few people ever reach. Pain is inevitable, but suffering is a choice. You can either use pain as a reason to quit or as a reason to fight harder. You can let it break you or you can let it build you. Every challenge you face is an opportunity to turn pain into power, to transform struggle into strength, to take everything life throws at you and use it as the fuel that drives you forward. Every setback, every failure, every moment of doubt is just another brick in the foundation of your success. Success isn't built in the spotlight. It isn't built in the moments of applause, recognition, or achievement. It's built in the moments when no one is watching, when no one is cheering you on, when no one even knows the work you're putting in. The true test of commitment isn't what you do when you feel motivated, it's what you do when you don't. It's what you do when you're exhausted, when you're frustrated, when progress feels slow, when nothing seems to be going your way. That's when champions are made. That's when the winners separate themselves from everyone else. Most people show up only when they feel like it. They work hard when things are exciting, when results come quickly, when motivation is high. But the moment things get difficult, they start to back off. They tell themselves they'll get back to it tomorrow, that they just need a break, that maybe it's not the right time. That's the difference between those who succeed and those who stay stuck. The ones who make it are the ones who show up anyway. They show up when it's inconvenient, when it's painful, when it feels pointless, when nothing seems to be working. They don't wait for motivation. They create it through action. The truth is, motivation is temporary. It fades. It comes and goes like the wind. If you rely on motivation to get things done, you'll always be inconsistent. But discipline? Discipline is what separates the best from the rest. Discipline means showing up when you don't feel like it. It means pushing forward when there's no immediate reward. It means putting in the work day after day, even when there's no guarantee of success. Because the people who stay consistent long enough are the ones who eventually break through. The greatest athletes, entrepreneurs, and leaders in the world didn't get there by accident. They got there because they did the work when no one was clapping for them. They got there because they kept pushing when the results weren't showing yet. They got there because they refused to let circumstances dictate their actions. They showed up anyway. They put in the reps. They built the habits. They kept going long after everyone else had quit. That's what it takes. It's easy to work hard when everything is going well, but what do you do when progress is slow? When success feels miles away? When your effort isn't immediately rewarded? That's when most people give up. That's when doubt creeps in. That's when the excuses start. But that's also when the strong get stronger. That's when the ones who refuse to quit start separating themselves from the ones who do. Because every time you show up when it's hard, you build something inside yourself that can't be broken. Every time you push through resistance, you develop a level of mental toughness that most people never achieve. Success isn't about big, dramatic moments. It's about consistency. It's about what you do day after day, whether you feel like it or not. The small things you do repeatedly add up over time. The late nights, the early mornings, the sacrifices, the hours spent perfecting your craft when no one is looking. That's where greatness is built. The problem is most people want quick results. They want the rewards without the grind. They want the success without the struggle. But that's not how it works. Every successful person you admire has put in years of unseen work. They've failed, they've struggled, they've had days where they wanted to quit. But they didn't. They showed up anyway. And that's why they won. Most people treat their dreams like an option. They say they want success, they say they want to change their life, but deep down, they've left room for an exit. They tell themselves they'll give it a shot, they'll see how it goes, they'll try their best. But trying isn't enough, hoping isn't enough, wishing isn't enough. If you want to succeed at the highest level, you have to make a decision that this is non-negotiable. There is no backup plan. There is no if it doesn't work out. There is only one path forward. The reason most people never achieve their goals isn't because they aren't capable. It's because they never fully commit. They give themselves too many chances to quit. They allow too much space for excuses. When things get hard, they start thinking about what else they could do instead. But those who succeed at the highest levels don't think that way. They don't entertain the possibility of failure. They don't give themselves an out. Their mindset is simple. This will happen, no matter what. Asterisk, when something is non-negotiable, you find a way. You stop making excuses. You stop waiting for the perfect moment. You stop looking for shortcuts. You do the work, you push through, you adapt, you learn, you grow, but you never stop moving forward. Because failure is not an option. Because quitting is not an option. Because there is no version of reality where you don't make it happen. That's the level of commitment it takes. Most people fail because they allow their emotions to dictate their actions. If they feel tired, they rest. If they feel discouraged, they stop. If they don't see immediate results, they question if it's even worth it. But when something is non-negotiable, your feelings don't matter. It doesn't matter if you're tired. It doesn't matter if it's inconvenient. It doesn't matter if it takes longer than you expected. You don't stop just because you don't feel like doing it. You don't quit just because it's hard. You do what needs to be done no matter what. Commitment at this level changes the way you approach everything. You stop looking for motivation and start operating on discipline. You stop worrying about temporary discomfort and start focusing on the long-term vision. You stop questioning yourself and start demanding more from yourself. Because there is no alternative, because this is what you do. Because success is inevitable when you refuse to accept anything less. The moment you make your goal non-negotiable, everything shifts. You stop wasting energy on doubt. You stop second-guessing your path. You stop looking for ways out and start looking for ways through. You develop a mindset that nothing can break. You become unstoppable. Not because you never face obstacles, but because you refuse to let them stop you. Most people wait for external validation before they fully commit. They want proof that things will work out. They want guarantees. But the people who succeed don't wait for proof, they create it. They make the decision first, and then they find a way. They trust themselves enough to go all in before the results show up. And that's why the results eventually do show up. Because when you commit at that level, you become a force that nothing can shake. The road to success is full of setbacks, obstacles, and moments of doubt. But the ones who make it aren't the ones who never face challenges. They're the ones who refuse to let those challenges define them. They aren't the ones who never feel fear. They're the ones who act in spite of it. They aren't the ones who wait for the perfect time. They're the ones who decide that now is the time, and they never look back. Every person who has ever achieved something great has faced a moment where they wanted to quit. A moment where everything felt like it was falling apart. A moment where the results weren't coming fast enough, where the pressure felt unbearable, where the dream seemed further away than ever before. This moment is the breaking point. It's the place where most people give up, where they convince themselves that maybe it just wasn't meant to be. But the ones who succeed, they push past this moment. They refuse to let it define them. They refuse to let it stop them. The truth is, everything you want is on the other side of struggle. Every breakthrough, every level up, every transformation happens after. The moment when most people quit. But you have to make the choice to keep going. You have to decide that quitting is not an option, that no matter how hard it gets, no matter how impossible it feels, you will keep moving forward. Because the people who win in life aren't the ones who never face difficulty. They're the ones who refuse to let difficulty defeat them. Most people quit right before they're about to break through. They put in weeks, months, even years of effort, and then, when it doesn't seem to be working fast enough, they stop. They walk away, not realizing that they were inches from success. Because success doesn't come in a straight line, it doesn't show up on a predictable schedule, it pssts you. It waits to see how bad you really want it. And the only way to prove that you do want it is to keep going when every part of you wants to stop. The biggest lie people tell themselves is that quitting will make things easier. That if they just walk away, the stress will go away, the frustration will disappear, the weight will be lifted. But quitting doesn't erase the struggle, it just hands it to a different version of you. A version that has to live with the regret of wondering what could have happened if you had just held on a little longer. A version that has to watch someone else succeed and think, that could have been me. Asterisk quitting doesn't end the pain, it just replaces it with a different kind of pain. A pain that lasts far longer than the temporary discomfort of pushing through. The people who succeed aren't necessarily the smartest, the most talented, or the most gifted. They're the ones who simply refuse to quit. They're the ones who, no matter how hard it gets, keep showing up, keep taking action, keep believing that if they just keep going, they will break through. And they're right. Because persistence beats talent. It beats intelligence. It beats luck. The world rewards those who refuse to give up. The moment you decide that quitting is not an option, you take back control. You stop looking for an escape and start looking for solutions. You stop asking, should I keep going? Asterisk. And start asking, how can I keep going? Asterisk, you shift from a mindset of doubt to a mindset of determination. And that shift is everything. That shift is what allows you to find another way when your original plan doesn't work. That shift is what keeps you moving forward when progress feels slow. That shift is what makes you unstoppable. Everything great in life comes with struggle. Every dream worth chasing requires endurance. The people who reach the top aren't the ones who never face failure. They're the ones who never let failure stop them. The people who build extraordinary lives aren't the ones who had the easiest path. They're the ones who walk through the fire and refuse to turn back. Because they understood one simple truth: if you don't quit, you can't lose. If you keep going, eventually, success has no choice but to show up. The journey to success isn't easy. It's filled with obstacles, setbacks, and moments that test your willpower. But the difference between those who achieve greatness and those who don't lies in their refusal to quit. Success isn't reserved for the smartest or the most talented. It's for those who decide once and for all that failure is not an option. It's for those who push through the pain, silence the doubts, and keep moving forward no matter how hard it gets. The key is simple. Make the decision to never give up. When you commit fully, when you show up no matter the circumstances, when you keep fighting, even when it seems impossible, that's when you become unstoppable. Keep going, and success will come, because quitting is simply not in your vocabulary.